Assalamu alaikum dear students, I hope everybody is fine. I am Dr. Alives and you are watching YouTube channel ALEVELCAMS. In this lecture we will discuss the graph of quadratic function. So firstly we will see what is quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is a polynomial of degree 2 in one variable, that is the highest power of the variable. Let's say the variable is x, the highest power of the variable x is 2. So you can write a x square bx plus c equal to 0, where a, b and c be any real number. So if I write a quadratic function, so I can write it as y equal to a x square bx plus c. This is a quadratic function. So student, there are several possibilities for the quadratic function. Maybe you can factorize it into linear factors, then it has two roots, x0 and y0. And maybe you cannot factorize it, then you have to use the technique of completing a square. So with the help of the completing square, we can draw a parabola, because this is an equation of parabola in which one variable is of degree 1 and the second variable in the degree of 2. So let's say its completing form will be of a x minus k plus h. So dear student, let's say if we draw this graph, so if a is positive, so you can draw this graph like this one. I will explain this form for the several cases of a, h and k. The simplest form of the parabolic equation is y equal to x square. The graph of this one is like this. You can simply write it as x minus 0 square plus 0. So you can see that its vertex at the origin O 0 and 0. So if we write down y equal to minus x square, here you can see the coefficient of x is positive, means it opens on the upward side. So if we have a minus, so the graph will be towards the downward. And if let's say I have y equal to x minus 1 square, so you can see that y will be 0 at x equal to 1. So when we plot its graph, you have to shift 1 unit to the right and the graph will be like this one, because we hadn't add any number outside this square factor. And if we have y equal to minus x minus 1 square, it means you have a graph of this function at 1 but towards the downward. So let's say if there is a plus, so the 0 of factor will be at the minus 1 and the graph will be like this. And similarly, if there is plus 1, you have to shift 1 unit to the left and the graph will be downward. So student, for the equation y equal to, let's say, x minus 1 square plus 2, so you can draw a graph like this. Firstly we will observe this one. So we will shift right 1 unit, it will be at 1. So this is the graph of y equal to x minus 1 square. But we have to add 2 for the every x, means we have to lift up 2 units. So the graph will be here, let's say 2. So this is the plotting of your graph. This is the exact plotting of this given function x minus 1 plus 2. And similarly, if there will be minus 1, you will have 2 unit downward, and from here you can draw your graph. Understand? And similarly, if there is plus, you have the face of parabola towards the upward. And if we have minus, so you can do the same thing for the downward graph.